Hello, this is Akiko Sedano at StampinInTheMeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and thank you for joining me today. I am going to make a card today with the Sentimental Park bundle, and this has got all of these gorgeous sentiments and a few two-step florals, and then it's also got a wonderful set of dies, and it's because of the dies that I wanted to make this do this demonstration today and make this card. So let me get started here. Hold a second. I will just checking, making sure I can see my comments here. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Chi and Amy. Thanks for joining me. And Karen, thanks. And Karen also. Thank you, guys. Good to see you here today. So my card today is, again, using the Sentimental Park bundle, and especially I want to demonstrate this gorgeous set of layered dies, and I'm going to be making a gatefold card, and I've made a couple of sample cards to show you, and I'm using the beautiful Regency Park Designer Series paper, and you can see that here's an example of the layered label die cut, and you can see there's two die cuts here, and one of them slides into the other, and then I've decorated it with some flowers along the side there, and it's a gatefold card, so it just simply opens up from the middle. And another sample that I made was also using the same Regency Park. The paper in this Designer Series paper pack is just so gorgeous, and I had to use the Sweet Sorbet paper as well. The one that I'm going to be demonstrating today uses the Night of Navy design. One of the things about I also stamped the inside here, and this one is stamped a little bit different. You've got the flower stamp from the set where you can, here I stamped the different corners, and here I stamped along the bottom. All right, so first let me show you the dies. You've got this large hexagon shaped die, and then it cuts around the edges of the flowers here, so that you can take another die cut using this plain hexagon, and then it'll slip in underneath the flowers there. So that's the wonderful thing about it. And again, all the beautiful sentiments, and this is the stamp that I used for decorating the inside panel. So I start out with a Night of Navy card base, and I've scored this at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8. So I'm going to burnish the corners here, and that gives you your gatefold where it opens in the center, and it opens like that. So this, since everything else is so simple, I just wanted to step this up just a little bit without detracting from the label, and make it a gatefold card. This could be done with a simple regular card as well. And another thing that I've done today is I have decided to use Designer Series paper as my mat, and a lot of times what you'll have is a pretty side, and then a side that's more muted without a lot of fancy designs. And I've decided to take that and use that as my mat. And I think this one is Mango Melody. And it just gives a little bit more texture to your mats, and maybe is a little bit more use for some of those patterns of Designer Series paper that you wouldn't think to use necessarily. But it doesn't distract from the pretty pattern. And there. So I've just adhered my floral panel to my crosshatch panel, And just use liquid glue. And there we go. I'll have all of my measurements in my blog tomorrow. I think I said that already. Now, one of the things that I wasn't as careful about cutting this paper is that when you make a gatefold like this, you can make it so that the designs kind of cross over. And I really wasn't very careful when I cut these two panels, so I don't think my designs match. But I think the thing too is that this has got a small design, so it and it's kind of all over, so I don't think it matters as much with this one. But definitely, it's I think it's very, very nice when your designs match across the middle here. Now, as I adhere this side, I want to make sure that my my outside borders are pretty good, because I think that with the opening in the front here, I think that it's going to be a lot more forgiving. So, but aren't the colors in this paper gorgeous? So that's one of the things, the design and the colors in this Regency Park Designer Series paper. And this is on the retiring list, so unfortunately this is going to be gone when the new catalog comes out in just a little bit more than a week. It's getting close. There we go. Actually, I think those two look like they're matching, but I don't think it's going to matter. All right, so now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp it in Night of Navy ink. And I'm just using the Thanks sentiment here. This this set has is so versatile. It can be used for so many different occasions. And as I was using this, one of the things that I noted is that this, the font on this and the stamping on this is really, really nice. Sometimes they can be a little too thick, and they give you a funky look. Sometimes they can be a little too thin, and you have to make sure your ink is just the perfect consistency in order to get a good stamp. But I think all the sentiments in all the sentiments here will give you a pretty nice stamp. So then, you can see here, this is the larger die cut. I've already die cut most of everything, and you can see how these flowers kind of they separate. So you take the sentiment and the one that you stamped, the panel that you stamped, the hexagon that you stamped, and slide it in here, and then work on the other side and gently curve this up and slip this under the flowers into this slit. And then play with it just a little bit to make sure that it's all tucked in nicely, that the outsides are like that, and that you've also got your stitching lined up. So you can see like you've got like holes on both panels, and it gives you the look of like a double stitched edge. And you can adhere this, but I'm not even going to adhere this. I think that this is going to be fine without being adhered. But if you want, you can stick in a glue dot or stick in some liquid glue on the underneath there. And then what I want to do is I want to adhere this, and I'm going to just use liquid glue. I'm still playing with this. Maybe I should. No, I'm going to leave it like that. So then I'm going to adhere it with liquid glue. And one of the things too is that this is a fairly, I'm doing this in a portrait kind of way, and it's going to go fairly pretty much edge to edge here like this. So I want to just make sure I apply glue to this side. And what I have been using for a guide is this little, where this bow, it hangs over, comes over to the side here, and I'm not going to go very much past there and applying my glue. And this is a new thing of glue, and it's just kind of gushy, so it'll smush out. Now let's see here. Let me line things up here and help me keep this straight, because this is the biggest challenge, of course, is getting this straight. And you can put it up high or you can put it down low. You just want to make sure that you keep everything on the card. Is that straight? I think that looks straight. Give it a good press. There. So that's pretty much in good shape here. So now I've got basically a basic white panel here, and let me get a piece of scratch paper to stamp my flowers for the inside. And I think that what I will do is I'm going to just stamp the bottom, and I'm going to stamp. Let's see how far it goes. Ink up my my stamp, and this is the floral stamp with all the flowers, and ink this up with Night of Navy. Start over here, and then ink it up again, and I'm gonna do it over here, maybe just a little, so that it's nice and close, but then it so I've got a design across the bottom, almost all the way across the bottom. And then I'm going to get my Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to just color the just the centers of the flowers, just to give it a little bit of yellow. And leave the rest of that like that. And then I have another panel of the Mango Melody with the crosshatch design that I was using for matting everything. And put this on with Stampin' Seal. There we go. Just a little bit of a border. Hopefully that's dry. Good. And then put more Stampin' Seal on to adhere this to the inside. There. So you've got plenty of room to write whatever you want to write, and then it closes like this. So this is kind of nice by itself. But then I think one of the things that is an extra bonus with this is that you've got all of these other floral die cuts. You've got the solid the floral dies. You've got the solid floral dies and then the outline dies, and they come fairly large because you've got this size, and then this size. I think these are the largest ones. And then you've also got this stamp, which will cut out, if you choose to use this stamp, it will cut that out, as well as cut out the stamped leaf there. And then this I can't wait to use this one. This is a gorgeous long leaf stem here that I think will go very, very nicely with any of your floral stamp sets. So then the next thing that I've done is I've already cut out, let me show you the dies again. I've cut out these dies, all 4 of these, using the Mango Melody Designer Series paper, and then I've cut this triple flower, and then each of these in Knife Navy. So I'm going to go ahead and use that to decorate, add a little bit of extra bling, because this is nice, but I think it's a little bit plain, and it really makes it pop and stand out more when you go ahead and you add more flowers to it. And so the solid flowers, I'm going to adhere with just liquid glue. There we go. And I'm gonna put I think that's gonna go through because I've got the hole right there. Maybe I should just stick my paper there so that it doesn't, if the glue gushes out, it's going to be fine. It's still going to be fine. Okay. And then for the flowers that I cut, the outline flowers that I cut, Designer Series paper, I did, before I cut them out, I added some adhesive sheets to the back so that this could, this is very, very, oops, I'm not even in the camera here. This is very, very thin. And so the first one I did use liquid glue, and it turned out to be okay, but I think that I would definitely recommend using adhesive sheets to put this on, and they can be kind of a pain sometimes, but I think this is going to be not too much of a pain. I did 2 of each, so there's 4 of them. Let's see here. I'm going to stick this one up here on top of this flower. And then one of these little tiny flowers, let's stick that on with some more liquid glue. Oops, there we go. Right here. Okay. And then the other side is not going to matter so much because that it's not going to. Stick it right up here. Pull off my adhesive sheet. Stick the big one down here. And I'm going to stick this one. I'm going to tuck this guy over here. I think I need to pull this up a little bit. Yeah, stick it right there. And the tiny one. Right here. And then the final Designer Series paper flower. Pull off the backing and we'll stick it up on the top here. There. Now, to really make these pop, let me, oh, that was not such a good thing. Good, I didn't get glue on that. I am going to decorate these with each of the flower centers with the tiny rhinestone jewels. And that gives us some bling. It fancies up these plain, oops, he jumped. Stay in the center there. There we go. And it definitely brings life to the Night of Navy flowers. And I've just used the tiny flowers here, but you can use the larger ones too to make it decorated a little bit more. But it really is very pretty, and it's just ingenious the way you've got the two dies that coordinate with each other to make this beautiful label. And so there's the card. And you open it up, and it's like that. So, whoops. Definitely, the label goes in front. So there's number 1, there's example 2, and then there is my 3rd example. And that's my card for today. Thank you so much for watching, and everybody have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.